count on. I am Martha, and yes, it's Real Talk here at Eagles 102.3. Now, what we do on Real Talk is take very topical issues and dissect them here. Last week we were understanding what were we even talking about last week? The whole of last month, rather.
Yeah, last month
We were talking about opportunities.
Yes, sorry, opportunities. Right?
So much for remembering. We were talking about opportunities in the last week, and I really hope that that really helped someone. You know, the series last month helped someone so much to be able to build valuable relationships, to be able to leverage on relationships for the purpose of opportunities, and a whole of the other things that we discussed here on the show last month. And it's yet again another month, the month of July. And yes, we're coming up with a new series for today, and we're talking about friendships. Now, one might want to say relationships, friendships. What is the difference? I mean, friendship is a kind of relationship or is a type of relationship. We have different types of relationship. We have the marital relationship. We have different types, work relationships. Now, this is friendship. We're talking about friendship here, and we're understanding the purpose of friendship in this week, right?
Yes, this week is understanding the purpose
Of friendship.
Or we could just say the purpose of
friendship, right? And of course, I'm never alone in the studio. When it's Real Talk, we have Bright Young here with us. Hi, Bright.
Good afternoon, everybody.
What's up with all this? All the guests I've been having since yesterday. You guys are just shooting up to the studio, looking like money bags. What's going on?
Oh, well, we decided to take a new leaf.
Well,
the next half of the year, so we're taking a different approach. Maybe we were just doing all the short knickers and shirts, t-shirts.
Well, it's good. It's a good thing.
How are you?
Right. I'm well. I'm fine.
You're looking great. I like the
Thank
glasses.
you.
I should start doing glasses. I've been seeing
It's
your
one
glasses
step at a
today.
time.
Okay.
One step at a time.
All right,
We just came out. You said it. We just came out from shorts. We're entering suits. After that, we start with accessories.
Glasses.
Right?
All right.
Very good. All right, now we're talking friendship. When we talk about friendship, a lot of people might think, oh, I know what friendship is. But yes, since you're here and you happen to be the expert and we want to hear from you, when we talk about friendship, what do we really mean by friendship?
Yes, the topic for this week is interesting because a lot of people would say, I have friends, but I don't feel like I do have friends.
Happens
And
all the time.
Some people shake hands and then they just like, okay, you know what? Somebody gave me a lift. I want to introduce you to me. It's just my new friend we just met. And if you be like me, I'll be a little bit critical, a little bit. You just met, and he's your friend. And how did that happen? You know him before? He said, no, I just met him now, and well, he's your friend.
my friend.
So like, okay, no problem. So friendship is vulnerability. Let me start with that. Friendship is vulnerability. Friendship is like an honorary degree that you
Okay.
give to somebody after you have seen that this person over time have the position the person has taken in your life has a great effect or a great impact in your life that makes that person become your friend. Now, a lot of people would just say, you know what, anybody that is good to me, anybody that is nice to me is my friend. But niceness doesn't mean friendship.
Of course.
So I want to start with certain compound words that we could break down in the course of our conversation today. Friendship is first. I wouldn't say first anyway, but friendship is vulnerability. Friendship is trust. Friendship is loyalty. Friendship is understanding. Friendship is mutual respect. Friendship is generosity. Friendship isn't entitlement. Now let me go into what friendship isn't.
Okay.
Friendship isn't entitlement. Friendship isn't manipulation.
Of course.
Friendship isn't I have to be in this person's life. It's not an imposition of yourself on another person. Friendship isn't low self-esteem. Friendship isn't pressure, like peer pressure when you look at all of that. And then friendship is not in a hurry to become friends. Yeah. And that's one part I would like to stay on a little bit, because when you're in a hurry to become somebody's friend, the person feels like there's an agenda you have. There is a feeling that, okay, this person, I need to be in your life, I need to be in your life. And you're like, oh, take it easy. I'm
Slow
just
down.
trying to know you, right? Friendship is not something that you just try to make happen. Friendship happens because you are intentional.
Okay.
Now, it's not something you try to make happen. It's something that happens because you are intentional. In other words, I'm not trying to make somebody a friend. I've discovered that this person can be my friend. So this person is not also trying to make me a friend. Like I say, okay, go and meet that person, make the person a friend. No, it's wrong. Because when you try to make people friends, there's a psychology that comes with a benefit. At the end of the day, if I do all I do, is just for us to become friends. And friends for what friends literally is. But friendship is a journey that begins with an intention and also purpose and also value. So if you want to become people's friends, or you want to become a particular kind of person to a particular people, or you want people to be a particular person to you, what you need to do is to find yourself, understand your purpose, your assignment, your coordination, and then just live your life. By virtue of what you are, attractions come in, and then the value you begin to sift in these people's life would make them friends. Yeah, so you get to know that you have friendship, or you have a friendship that is growing, or you're experiencing friendship from a particular person or a particular people, when you begin to see certain realities that are lacking in your life become fuller. When you see certain realities that are lacking in your life become more
Expressive.
what's it called now? I want to say
Visible?
expressed. Yes, visible now.
Yeah.
Now, not that they are visible. The lack is not is not that the visibility is in the area of the lack, but it's that what you're lacking, you are full. You're now full of. All right, and then in the areas where you're weak, you're stronger. Just because certain people walked into your life, and a lot of people would always want to say, you know what, I think I need to have new friends. No, the point is not having new friends. It's about how you engage with people that cause them to become what they are to you. So basically, a lot of people who clamor for friendship, who clamor for, I want to experience friendship, or experience this or experience that, they really do not know what friendship is. And that's why we're trying to start with this conversation, because the whole of this month, I believe, we'll be talking about friendship and all that. So it's important for you to first of all understand what friendship is.
Of course.
Because we do have different definitions of friendship. For somebody, friendship is he bought me ice cream. For somebody, friendship is, oh, I couldn't pay my bills, I couldn't pay my rent, and she offered to pay, and that made her my friend. Somebody can be that nice to you and still not a friend.
Be your friend. And it's funny how people go, you know what, I want to be friends with you, and the person says, you now ask the person, why do you want to be my friend? And they say, I don't know. I just like you.
I just like you, and then I want to be your friend. And you see, those things are not ways of being somebody's friend. I don't know if we could actually be very honest about friendship. It's something that is losing its reputation over time. It's something that is losing its capacity, or something that is losing its strength. Because those days, when you say, show me your friend and I'll show you who you are, it means what it means exactly what it was. Because when I see you, I should see your friend, which means the quality of people around you reflect the quality of who you are. But these days, it's like everybody is just a friend. I just met this person, is just a friend, this person is a friend. And it's because of that lack of proper definition. It's abused in many contexts. It's abused in many ways. It's abused in many spheres. For instance, you can be working as a staff and be a friend of your boss. It's very possible.
It's possible.
And, the fact that some people do not see that possible is just the reason why I'm saying that there is a definition dysfunction or deficiency. Because when you understand friendship, you can actually be married and be your wife's friend. You can be married and then be your son's friend. And because these things, I heard somebody one day saying that, no, children are supposed to be children, not your friends. And I'm like, really?
You can even have siblings.
Yes.
That are not
your friends. And I'm like, wow, how would you say the person was like, the child should be the child and shouldn't be a friend. And I'm like, okay, I need to have an understanding again about what friendship really is. So we have this ideology about friendship. It's it's secretive, it's this, it's that. And anyway, friendship comes with different forms and types, and then they grow into certain levels. Some of this, of course, the forms of friendship. You can have platonic friendship, which means that both of us are female, opposite sex, and we're together, but we do not have anything sexual. All of that, which is rare these days, anyway.
Wow.
The reasons why it's rare because if you follow up our conversation from last 2 months, where we're talking about you meet somebody who is supposed to be your destiny helper, but because you wanted to be intimate with this person, where you would have experienced platonic friendship, you decided that no, let me allow my emotions to do the talking and everything, and then you're losing the friendship because now you're falling out of relationship with the person who should have been a destiny helper. So your helper is now what you call your ex. So how is that?
Your helper is your ex. Wow.
So
It
how is that?
happens.
How is that going to work?
I think
so,
we shared it here on
yeah.
the show one time where someone says, I fell out with my destiny helper because it was not giving.
You see,
it's not
you see,
giving.
and then the destiny helper is not really supposed to be in that light. So because
Yeah.
of so many definition deficiencies, we are losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
So when we're calling for things to happen, it's like when you're saying, please sit down, and the person is offering you a table, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll sit. That's what's happening in relationships. That's what's happening in friendships with definitions, because people do not go back home and sit down and ask themselves questions and say, you know what am I really doing?
And you know the problem when you say where you say what you said, there's a deficiency
Yeah.
in definition of friendships. Now, one might want to misunderstand this, saying, so you want us to go into friendships or relationships without having anything beneficial in mind. The problem is most of us don't think of the things that are not material.
Yeah.
Or
When it comes
that are
to
not
friendship.
financial.
Yeah.
When we talk about purpose for friendships. Now, it's okay. That's what we're discussing
Yes.
today. It's okay to walk up to somebody, say, Bright, I want you to be my friend. Not because we need to have anything intimate
Yeah.
together, but because I think that on certain levels, you have a kind of understanding of something that I am deficient of, I can be honest with you. Now you cannot expect anything more from me.
Yeah.
Because this is why I want to be friends with you and I'm honest. It's just like going to the tech guy, Funsho, and saying, Funsho, I want you to be my friend.
Yeah.
And he goes, why do you want to be my friend? I said, this thing you're doing, I like
I want it, yeah.
It's something that's very relevant in this time. And you find yourself very displaced if you don't even know it. Can you be my friend so that you can teach
me.
Yes. Now, I feel like if I'm friends with you, you will teach me with so much care. That's why I'm not going to ask you to pay you, so that I can be taught by you.
Yeah.
Because that way I've defined our relationship and it's way different from what a teacher and a student
kind of
will have. Now
relationship,
you're
yeah.
my friend. I can call you up anytime. And tell you this is what I'm facing difficulty in. Now let's talk about defining friendship.
Good.
Let's talk about
I was looking forward to that.
yes, and purposeful friendships.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of things have been abused. You come to work because I see you every day, automatically I call you my friend.
My friend, yeah.
I go to church because I see you every day, I call you automatically my friend. And I shared an experience I had with you recently.
Yeah.
Somebody in church, saying you're my friend, blah blah blah, this and that. At the end of the day,
It was
the
for
person,
something.
yes, the
It was
motive
premeditated.
premeditated.
Yes.
The motive with which you were approaching me was very different from
What
how I
you
was
looked
approaching
forward-
you.
yes.
Do you understand? And so, yes, let's define it.
Okay.
For the benefit of everyone listening to us here.
All right. I was looking forward to that whole defining friendship. It's sad sometimes that when you connect with something without definition, it becomes anything.
Of course.
Yes, it becomes anything. When you are not definite, somebody was like, oh man, sometimes when you say these things, it looks like everybody should be too serious, everybody. But you see, life is a serious business.
Yes.
Life is not something that you just engage with ignorance. And if you do engage life with ignorance and then you have maybe partial knowledge, it will lead to arrogance. Like I always say, when ignorance is laced with arrogance, there is a lot that will be happening that is not supposed to happen with you or to you. Now, I'm saying this to say that when we look at friendship, some people need to understand that friendship is defined at certain and different levels. Yeah, they are defined at different levels. And the reason why you must be very conscious about what you're doing when you meet an individual and tell the person specifically, this is why I want you to be this or that to me or with me, is because in doing that, you enable the person see how to connect with you. So if the person is not okay with why you want to be in this whole thing, why we need to be friends, why we need to connect, if the person is not okay, the person tells you already, no, I don't have space for this.
I can teach you.
Yes, I can teach you, but you cannot be my friend. Because what happens most of the times is that when people say, I want to be your friend, they feel entitled. Oh man, we've been friends for some time now. You've not told me what you're this thing. You know, they tell me things. And yes, I know that we've been friends for a while, but I don't get to call you all the time. I don't get to reach out to you like you expect me to reach out to you. It's because we've not defined it in a way that allows that to happen.
Yes.
For instance, you got a phone, and then you see a lot of people doing certain things with your phone. And the phone you got was just for you to make a call with them. And you see, oh, I'm making my phone is for phone calls. So somebody else is doing WhatsApp with his phone. And you're like, they do WhatsApp with phones. And you're like, yes, so how do I do WhatsApp with my phone? He said, well, you need to have the application, and then you had the application running, and then you see somebody also doing some business, I don't know how they call that.
WhatsApp business.
Yeah, WhatsApp business, all that, other things. Now, other features, maybe the person is doing calculations, having Excel and all that spreadsheet on his phone, and you're like, there's another, and the person is telling you that the person got tired of, you keep seeing and you're expecting and you're wanting, right? Because sometimes people's idea of friendship is ambition,
Of course.
which you were explaining. I want to meet this person so that this can be happening to me. And when this person's notice that this person is just coming for what they can get, they feel vulnerable. They feel like, oh man, if this person is entering my life, what is this person coming with as well? Like I always say, if you want asset, be an asset. When you meet people as assets, they can feel like, oh, there is a way to connect with this person that improves my life and improves your life and improves our life.
You know, when you just mentioned this, I was listening to like a message yesterday that talked about, every door having two entrances.
Yes.
There's the one that you enter with a need, and the one that you enter with value.
Solution, yes.
With value. So once you enter that door with a need or as a need, you become a slave of whatever you see there.
Yes.
Because you are in need.
Yes.
You know when scripture said we borrower is the servant of a lender. That's
right.
just what it is.
Yes.
When you come in there with a need and nothing else to give, you are vulnerable to whatever you find there. But when you come with so much value, I'm not coming empty-handed. I come bearing gifts too. It's just that I need somebody to pour into me as I'm pouring out to somebody. And that's where we most times get it wrong. We just and I'm not saying you cannot just have friends because you like them. That's still not nothing. I like how you live your life. You're not common. We don't see you just everywhere. You are just on your own and all of that. I can be friends with somebody for that because I share that same perspective, and all of that. I can be friends with you for that reason, right? But I'm not also saying that you should just let anybody in.
Just walk into your space.
It's very risky.
Yeah.
It's very
risky because people will always understand that humans, heart of men, are when they say desperately, it means that there is there is a possibility of an individual to enter into your life and everything shatters.
Of course.
There's a possibility of somebody to walk into your life and everything comes to an order. So I was trying to explain that we because we are always in a hurry to give somebody the icing on the cake, we do not enter into the process of the cake making. So if this person was in the process of the cake making, the person will not ask you to mix the icing with the cake. The icing comes at the top of the cake. But because we are always a destiny kind of people, more like we are always about the end of it, the end of it, the end of it. So you see that you're meeting people who are always looking forward to the end. And you're like, okay, you know what? At this level, let's just get to know each other this way and all that. Many great relationships fail because people keep jumping the gun. You keep meeting somebody and you want, there are people, I'm just trying to borrow a lot of words now because it's welling up within. There are people who you meet at the first instance, the next thing they're asking you is transport money. Nothing wrong with that. I have a need, right? But the point is, the context at which that money is coming, is it because we shook hands? Is it because we just shook hands and like, oh well, I like what you're doing, you like what I'm doing? Oh, the next thing you're going to say, sorry, I would have told you this thing, but that time it was pressing. My rent is expiring. I need your help. There's nothing wrong with that. But this person shouldn't be the person that should be dealing with that now because you just met that person. If not, the person gets an automatic definition of you as, oh, this person I'm just meeting is definitely going to be a burden. And you won't blame them because there are so many needs and you're one of those needs, and this need is just too urgent and too, just very, 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 very immediate. So what I'm trying to say is that when you go about defining defining friendship and defining the levels of this friendship, because friendship is a journey, I said it earlier. It's not a destination. It's not something that we just meet and then we become. It's something that over